All right, spawning up here in the north. It is our red Protoss player. Representing Root, he is Creature. And his opponent spawning in the south. It is our blue Terran player, former Cheeseadlphia champion. He is Future. So he's got the Maturino logo there. Is he representing Maturino? All right, so TvP here. We're going to be seeing a little bit of a different fast-paced style of game. You already see different building placements and structure placements, the way that they are setting up their bases, and this is specifically to deal with Reapers that are jumping up from down here. We want to make sure we're kind of able to deal with this, try to mitigate that as much as possible. Bio is usually the name of the game when you're playing as someone like Future, who's got that speed, the power, and able to kind of get themselves out on the map and harass and do things like that. We will see if he sprinkles in anything crazy or does anything out of the norm here. We do have, of course, our first scout making their way across. And we've talked about this before of just how important information is in this game of StarCraft, as well as just RTSs in general. Getting over there, harassing, being annoying. And this is one of those things where you can just kind of right-click on that SCV and just kind of keep messing with him as much as possible. But we're going to see this little dance of these players. But this is one thing to kind of note as you kind of are running the block. Think of it similar to that like PVZ strategy right now, where you're just like delay the expansion, be annoying in case they are trying to drop that down, which oftentimes they are, but you also are getting in and seeing, okay, you're not taking it yet. So that is giving me indication that you are teching up behind all this, and we know that there is the factory coming out. The Reaper's going to come out and finally put a stop to this annoying little probe that's running around. On the mean side, we see our expansion is out, our adepts are coming out, and just sort of the normal stuff that we're seeing of the double gas style of play here. But we'll see there's the Reaper chasing him down. Pew, pew. Oh, look at this. The kind of fake out, try to turn back the other way. That was kind of that specific play here. So now we're going to see, keep an eye on the information that we've got. And we are able to get in here. Adept is ready to deal with this. Able to kind of go around. We'll see if he gets one. A great little bunch right there. That's the stuff that we're looking for from those players, is really, can he be able to get at least a kill? And he gets one. Will he get a second one in the process? Looks like he's getting close to it. Yes, gets a second one. The probes get pulled off here. That's that annoying thing. Now with the Stalker coming out here, it's going to be able to put a stop to this. And oh, look at the mine. And he gets a third one. Oh my gosh, 4 kills total. He's killed 3 inside the base and then that 1 scouting probe. So that is a nice little kind of lead up right there if we're looking at our resources lost at this moment in time. So that annoying little like harassment actions that we're seeing here. All right, and we got, of course, our expansions coming down. We, of course, get the Cyclones added in here, so going for this kind of mobile force to get out there and kind of really keep the pressure on our opponents here. The next Reaper is going to be getting in cleaned up, no problem there for our Protoss player. They're doing well. Get our expansion up. We're now going to be powering up into that kind of Stalker tech here. This is kind of that mobility is key for this matchup. How fast are we able to kind of go around and defend? We're setting up for a solid little timing here. Look at the Cyclone is on patrol mode just to kind of make sure no adepts are coming over. Nothing that's going to be able to be annoying to deal with, but nice little medevac first hits. And we'll have a nice little Marine medevac timing that we can be able to utilize here if we so chose. And there it is. Boom, boom, boom. Loaded up. Full medevac. And look at that for timing. Medevac gets scouted by the hallucinated Phoenix. It's not a real Phoenix, so we don't have to worry. But this is kind of that give me information Phoenix. What we got? Sees, all right, yep, everything is checking out. Everything looks the way that I expect it to. How much damage are we going to have done here? And we're going to have quite a bit, because look at these free pylons that are available. You build this to kind of stop Reapers, but then now you got to deal with potential harassment. Cyclone coming over here to kind of help us out, and we can really, yep, there's the lock on. One pylon's going to go down. Second one can be able to get taken out in the process. We see the gateways are getting powered up here. We're trying to be able to hit a good timing with our stalkers that we were looking to get for here, but there shuts all of it down. Next pylon does finish up here, and we'll have at least 2 available, but that was huge advantages going for future here. And he lifts up and gets on out of there right as the rest of the army comes over here. And there's the drop off. It's the little bit of harassment, trying to keep that medevac alive. We'll lose a couple Marines in the process. I love the hallucinated Immortal, because look at that. It's getting targeted down, but that's not even the real one. Raven has shown up. The Marines are sacrificing themselves to get the tanks out of there, and that is perfectly fine. As long as our heavy gas units do survive, we're okay. And there's the Raven helping to push this back. And look at this. Oh, that was such a big brain play there with the Immortals, right? You make it look like you have 2 Immortals in this. One of them was hallucination, so you're okay. You don't have to worry as much. Now you're kind of able to kind of scramble back over. We defended. Yes, we took some damage. We lost some more stuff than we had hoped for, but we're taking a 3rd base behind all this. It's that kind of additional pressure that we can be able to follow up with our own little harassment. We've got our warp prism that is just now popped out, and now we can kind of go about things. And knowing that there is a heavier tank count, right, we're sitting in a pretty decent spot here. 4 tanks to be exact. We've got our Raven already out. We've got a medevac and a decent number of Marines. We're starting to get those upgrades, starting to get the stim, the +1, and now we're going to be back on the aggressive plan. But there is the warp prism here, looking for opportunities. So this is set up here that we can be able to do some warp ins right here, and then kind of find an angle inside of the main base to kind of get in and harass. There's another hallucinated Phoenix. Did we catch it? We close. We're getting all the information we need, because there's a free, oh my gosh, free Raven. We'll take it. And then we can kind of back up and keep an eye on the main base, because guess what? We're trying to get in and do some harassments. Zealots trying to make something happen, not really able to get too much, because we are doing this kind of double-pronged defense as well as aggression, and these Stalkers are looking for an angle to get in. The tank count are spread up very nicely, but look at this. Stalkers taking quite a lot of damage. They're not really able to find that angle that we needed to try to get in, and we're going for the hard contain here. Bunkers now getting dropped down with all these Marines. We're taking out this expansion here. Immortals loaded up inside of here, but look, Marines are going to come down here, and we're going to try for the snipe, and we are going to, oh my gosh, almost get it there. It does fall back, will recharge the shields. There's a nice little feedback there on the medevac, which is nice, giving us indication of there are high Templar out, so be aware. Storm is probably on the way. We're going to try to bust it and stop this hard containment from going down. Immortals got cleaned up on the low ground. Stalkers getting shelled from all those tanks, and this contain is still here to stay. Zealots run forward here, but the tanks are still spread out so nicely to apply all this pressure here, and Creature has to abandon this base here. Great push for future, saying I'm staying on my 2 bases enough that I can be able to hit a great timing, get a hard contain, and look, now we can just kind of salvage the bunkers and get on out. We're going to get ready for our own expansion. You see kind of the long distance mining as we're getting ourselves ready. We've kind of put a lot of effort into this. We already have our base ready to go. How much damage can this one Archon and one Immortal do? Let's see here. As we drop down, we're going to be able to get a couple of kills on some SCVs. This is nice. Couple free as they're transferring around. There we do see the Marauders show up here and put a stop to this, but this is very, very low. But we're finding our next angle to attack, going over for the additional 3rd base that's trying to come down. And where is the army for here? It is not available. Look, we catch it. We know that it's coming. We're going to see the spread again from the tanks. This is that big deal maneuver that we see as they start to spread out super far. And there, Zealots trying to run forward. They get up on the first tanks, which is huge. And now we can kind of fall back. Great little storm to kind of stop and try to shred through that army. Zealots going to run their way forward here. But so many units are in the red and orange. And now we have to scramble back to that next wave of tank. This is not going to be as easy a push as it was last time. But we're starting to siphon off a lot more of those gateway units as the Zealots run their way forward. Widowmine's there, and he's able to help put a defense there. Look at this over on the left-hand side. We're doing a good amount of damage. We do get, oh no, we missed a hot pickup there. We are able to continue to do some juggling. trying to hold the line. Next wave of Zealots going to get warped in here to try to help us out as they run their way forward, but so many medevacs healing up all those Marauders, making this easier, and GG is called as the Protoss army begins to crumble there. GG's. Game 1 goes to Future. What a great start to this series. We saw that kind of non-stop aggression that Future was going for, already getting that advantage in that first initial Reaper push that he sent across there, and just says, hey, I'll kill off 3 of your probes inside your base. I'll kill off 1 of your probes that's transitioning across the map and put myself in a position to be able to have a lead going into this. So now we're going to be getting ready for game number 2, Creature's map choice in this best of 3. We are in round 2 of Cheeseadlphia here. We'll see how are the matches looking. So far, only one player has gotten the lead, and that's Holden. Game 2 versus Future. All right. Abyssal Reef is our map choice here. Okay, Abyssal Reef, Future up 1-0 in this series. It is best of 3 because it is the Swiss. Then we're going to be jumping across and doing 5 rounds of Swiss before the cut to top 8. So players are ready. Good luck's have fun's coming off. Good luck, have fun. And we're going to jump in to game number 2. All right, here we go. Here we go. Three, two, one. Spawning down here in the bottom right-hand corner. It is our red Protoss player. Currently down 0-1 in this best of 3. He is known as Creature. And his opponent, spawning up in the north, our blue Protoss player, currently up 1-0. He is Future. So again, the timing attack is key here for Future and his playstyle. Being able to hit that, like basically lined it up perfectly. It goes, my first medevac is out. I'm ready to go. Loaded up with that tank, loaded up with Marines. We'll already start attacking with the pylon. Take that out, retreat, don't lose anything. He did not stay too long, so really understanding how much he could commit on that map and how much pressure he could put on it. Things are a little bit different now. We're on Abyssal Reef, so you don't get to do the same sort of play. We see a kind of much more safer, connected base that is being constructed over for Creature, so we're not going to be able to see the same sort of maneuvers, knowing that there is this same potential that could go down. This is that kind of awareness, adaptation, understanding of who you're playing against here. Also, it's just kind of a little bit safer of a main base that you can kind of build around here. And the way it is set up here is to kind of also help deal with Reapers by constructing your buildings the way that you are. It kind of makes it much harder for them to kind of zip around and do some annoying stuff. But there's the Nexus coming down, kind of the normal stuff that we're seeing from Protoss with their openings. We're seeing the actually double rack style here with the Reaper opening up here. So a little bit different of a play this time around than last time. Last time we went for a very specific timing with the tank, with the medevacs, and really trying to hit at a perfect spot to get the pressure on. This time we're going for a very aggressive opening here with the Reapers. A lot of ledges, a lot of ways to kind of zip in and get around and try to maneuver and hop and get in there and be annoying, and applying as much pressure and utilize our micro skills with the Reapers is the name of the game for Future. How well Creature responds to that is going to be a whole different thing. We're going to be see kind of the defensive route. We're going for a Stalker. We're going to be going for our, of course, one lone little spellcaster at the beginning here with the Sentry. Being able to utilize things like the hallucinations to get scouting is extremely important early on to get that information and know what your opponent is up to. Additional route is going to be added in here as our expansion, as well as our factory here. But there is the first pack of Reapers zipping their way across the map, ready to get that information, ready to get some snipes on some probes. There's the hallucination. Did he catch it? Oh, if he was paying attention. So we'll see. Kind of find his angle in there. That sentry is going to be a main target here, as well as going for some of those probes. So we see a little bit of pressure getting added on. There is, of course, a little shield battery, so this is not going to work as well as it did last time. Look, oh, catches one there for a second, gets him cleaned up. The 2 Reapers get into the main base, and we do try to go for the same sort of juggling skill. We do a lot of sort of kind of pot shots and weakening, but not really getting the kills that we needed there. 1 Reaper does end up going down there for future, so trades in favor of Creature with a solid defense this time around here, even utilizing that shield battery to kind of make his life easier on this defense. Normal transition for Creature. Mobility is key, and we're going for the next set of tech, and that is going to be that blink. And look at this, the great little wall off there. That's the stuff that we were talking about, is just a design to stop the Reapers from doing that normal little run by, the zip around the map like they normally try to do. So big power up here, additional gates going on, very similar to last time. There is not going to be a tank push coming out like there was last time, though. So we're seeing a similar build out of Creature, but changes for future. You don't want to just go the same way every single time. That's kind of part of the excitement and fun of RTSs, of how are you going to change, what build orders are you going to go for, and we're going to be going into actually the Widowmine style of play here. So speed is the name of the game. We're going to go and try to hit a nice little timing with this Widowmine drop immediately. At the same time, we're being defensive behind all this, right? We're not overcommitting to anything. We're getting information out here, and we're going to be able to get in here and actually sneak in and do a nice little cheeky hit. So we'll see how well he is going to be able to run away. This is another thing, too. If you can sneak your way back in here, you'll be able to hit some good spots where the probes are not going to easily be able to run away. But here we go. First 2, great reaction. Look at this. Unloads. Repositions. He wants to get into the main base. Not going to really be able to find the angle that he wants to here. Ooh, actually sneaks his way forward here. And does manage to get in. Part of this is the distraction of the other Widowmine there. And there we go. Decent hits. 4 blasted off there. There's the blink. Will end up losing the medevac in the process. We almost got out unsuccessful, but guess what? The Widowmine got out. So there's that. Not really the same in trade mentality, but the mindset that you need to go for here is that pressure. How am I going to disrupt my opponent? What am I going to do to kind of throw them off their game and help get myself prepared and ready to go for it? And that's kind of the way that we're going, because behind all this, you're building up a strong bioforce. There's Marines, there's Marauders, right? We're getting all of our upgrades in here. Concussive Shells is on the way. We've got our +1 attack as well. And so you're kind of going to be hitting this heavy bio push, but Colossus are getting added on. Extended Thermal Lance. We see our charge added on here for Zealots. So you're going to be going basically old school classic bio style versus the old school classic Colossus gateway style of force. The difference is there's going to be 3 bases and a 3-base economy for our Protoss player. Will it kick in and get enough produce from it to be able to defend against this timing? We shall see. We're going to be relying on our shields here. We're going to be relying on our Immortals here. Sentry is going to be useful. Uh-oh. The Stalker push is going to try to go out, but that means that your fighting force is essentially cut in half. And this timing is going to be really scary. There's Widowmines here. Their job is to try to deal with the Zealots. Big stim run up, and we're going right for that. Shield battery is turned off, and we're going into the main base here. We're committed heavily to this push, and we're going right there. Another pylon shut down, and guess what? You have no production now. Every single pylon is now offline, and it stopped Extended Thermal Lance. Shut it down. Not able to do. We are in the corner here, stopping our mining. Can we get in, get out? And we do. Hot pickup. Get on out of there. Great shutdown. That is crazy how that worked. Look at this little Widowmine Going to sneak his way in here, ready for it. And guess what? Here's the next. Let's regroup and go again. Widowmine's coming in. Going to find an angle. Not too bad there. They're going to get cleaned up without doing too much there. Steaded Thermal Lance will be able to get finished up here shortly. We've got the additional pylons getting added in. But now, guess what? Your third base is vulnerable, and we do see that swing on over there. Future going to clean up the Stalkers, going to be moving in and just going right for those pylons, turning off all of those buildings. Again, a Colossus over there, but by yourself. Colossus are not really what you wanted to be having to defend. A scan coming down in the main base, confirming what things look like. Can I go for a drop there? No, not at the moment. But so far, pressure-wise, that is the tough spot to be in as Creature. It's 3 bases versus 3 base. Both players are up and running. Full production mining going on here. We've had some disruptions. A lot of resources for Creature are basically committed to going for reconstructing those pylons. So you can look at those unit loss and resources loss and go, oh, Future has lost more. But you have to think about the amount of disruption it takes for turning off all the production, turning back on all the productions, and then the scramble for defenses that you need to kind of go for. Look, we're still having unpowered buildings over here. So we're still committing 100 minerals for every one of those pylons. We've had to rebuild that big disruption where we would want to be continuing up with our productions and unable to. But there's the big drop. We're going right for the natural. Let's go in there, shred everything that's over here, clean up again all of those pylons that are going to be over here. We're going to go right down and start sniping down this Nexus, and we can just get out. We're in the corner spot. We're in the pocket. Load them up if we need to, and we're going to start shredding and getting through what we can. There's the load up. Oh, good blink. Trying to take him out, but we're still loaded up about 3 medevacs deep here, and we'll be able to kind of try to find an angle. The disruption's the name of the game. Oh, look at this recall here. We have to get over here on the left-hand side because the next drop had come over. And while you're paying attention to that, we're back over at the natural trying to snipe this down. We're going to be right-clicking on it, doing what we can. But now that the units are coming over, probes getting over, and they will get shredded in the process. 15 died. We've got disruptors added into the mix, and we will be trying to kind of defend this. We are able to kind of put a stop to it for the time being, but this slow trickle of pressure is going to be the problem. It's just the kind of slowly pay attention over here, pay attention over there. You're over paying attention to the right. Guess what? I'm going to try to move up here on the left, but this actually have some Colossus having the disruptor there stopped it there. Sonic Storm is almost done. So this very heavy, high damage set of units, the big expensive units that the Protoss unit race has here with the Colossus, with the disruptors, those are staying alive. So yes, this is a very frustrating way to defend. You're sitting here fighting against a Terran player that's constantly dropping. They're constantly everywhere. Oh my god, those Colossus are dead. Big reveal with that nice scan. Gets in there. We do have all of that damage going right down on all of those Colossus and the Disruptor, cleaning up a lot of that high DPS. The Vikings cleaning up the Colossus there. The rest of the unit's going to fall back, regroup up with the next stage, but we are scrambling to put a defense together. Losing those high cost units is really the problem here. We needed those to be left alive. As long as we had them, we could continue to defend, and now we're still holding on. We're holding the line, but it's going to be really tough because we just see more and more packs of Terran, more and more bio just kind of streaming across. Look at the mini map. You see that next pocket coming their way. Basically, it's just the next production cycle, boom, send them across. Next production cycle, boom, send them across. And keeping our macro going. And look at this. Natural has been shredded. 15 probes have gone down. We got a bunch of zealots. That's not really going to help us. We need that splash damage from the Disruptors, from the Colossus, to really shut this fighting force down. Stim's going to come down. A quick EMP going to take out a lot of those Zealots, and GG is called. We see Future take the series 2-0 here in this best of 3. Round 2 goes to Future, but don't worry, Creature is not down and out. He's just currently losing some points in there. So very exciting round 2 here with Creature versus Future.